We are back. This is Ryan Moon on Parlay News, where we are covering the hottest sports prediction markets on Kalshi this week. Our show today is about the dramatic shake-up at Pebble Beach, where Scottie Scheffler's game fell apart just as Rory McIlroy caught fire and made his move up the leaderboard. Can a defending champion sitting 6 shots back erase that gap in 3 days while the world's best player bleeds out at 3 cents on the dollar? Because that's exactly what's happening at Pebble Beach right now. And the answer reveals everything about how markets price redemption versus desperation. Let me paint you the scene. Thursday morning at Pebble Beach, the golf world woke up expecting coronation. Scottie Scheffler, the planet's most dominant force in golf, walks into the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am as a 25% favorite. The narrative practically writes itself. Elite ball striker meets iconic venue. Small greens favor precision. Scheffler crushes everyone. Vegas agreed. The public agreed. $9 million in Kalshi volume agreed. Then Scottie shot even par, while some 24-year-old Japanese player named Ryo Hisatsune went out and carded a 62. 10 under. In one round, Scheffler's win equity didn't just dip at collapse from 25% to 3.5%. That's not a correction. That's a market screaming this man is in serious trouble. But here's where it gets interesting. While Scheffler's struggling 10 shots back, Rory McIlroy, the defending champion who absolutely dismantled this course with a 21 under victory, sits quietly at 4 under, 6 shots back, close enough to smell opportunity. And the market's pricing him like he's just another guy in the pack. Someone's getting this catastrophically wrong. Either Scheffler at 3 cents is the greatest value play of the year, or Rory at around 10 to 1 is highway robbery. Let's figure out which. First, the Scheffler situation. I need you to understand how brutal a 10-shot deficit is in a signature event. This isn't some 156-man slog where half the field misses the cut and chaos reigns. This is 80 elite players, no cut, everyone plays 4 rounds. The cream actually rises here. When you start 10 back in this format, you need the leaders to implode while you simultaneously play perfect golf. That's not a comeback. That's threading a needle while riding a unicycle. The bull case sounds reasonable on paper. Scheffler's the best player alive. His ball striking gives him the highest ceiling for low scoring. And yes, he nearly won Phoenix a few weeks ago after calling his opening round awful. The man knows how to recover. But the math is absolutely unforgiving. Hisatsune at 10 under means Scheffler needs to average 66 or better for 3 straight rounds just to have a chance. And that assumes the leaders play mediocre golf. 1 double bogey, 1 bad wind gust on the wrong hole, and he's done. The market's telling you the truth at 3 cents. This isn't mispriced low. It's correctly pricing a 30 to 1 outcome that requires divine intervention.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
Now let's talk about the actual tournament happening on planet Earth. Chris Gotterup, remember that name because you're about to hear it everywhere, sits at 8 under after shooting 64 in round 1. This 26-year-old has already won twice on tour, including the Phoenix Open at TPC Scottsdale. That's not some rinky-dink event. That's stadium golf with 20,000 rowdy fans screaming at you. The kid has closing experience and the kind of fearless putting that wins signature events. The media's all over him. Golf Channel highlighted his pairing, his highlights are running on loop and the narrative's forming. Who is this guy? And how did he suddenly become unstoppable? His Kalshi volume sits at $1.77 million. The public sees him as a threat. But here's the beautiful part. His live odds still don't fully reflect his position because everyone's fixated on the round 1 leaders. Gotterup represents something Scheffler can't overcome. Proximity to the lead combined with momentum. Every birdie Gotterup makes increases the gap Scheffler needs to close. If Gotterup wins this week, it's not just a victory, it's a coronation. 3 wins in early tournament season vaults him into legitimate major championship conversation. Then you've got the first round leaders. Hisatsune at 10 under, Keegan Bradley and Sam Burns at 9 under, all dangerous, all capable. But here's what the market's missing. Hisatsune has never won on tour. Never. Closing out your first victory when you're leading after round 1 is like trying to land a plane in a hurricane while your instructor's yelling at you. The pressure on Saturday and Sunday will be absolutely crushing. Bradley's a major champion with the experience to handle it. Burns has multiple tour wins and elite ball striking. They're the chalk plays, boring but mathematically sound. If you're betting on a leader to hold, bet on proven closers, not first-timers learning on the job. But Rory. Oh, Rory's the play that keeps me up at night in the best possible way. Let me walk you through why the market's asleep at the wheel here. Rory won this tournament by 2 shots at 21 under par. That wasn't a grinded-out survival victory. That was dominance. He shot a closing 66 and controlled the tournament from start to finish. This is his course now. He knows every undulation, every wind pattern, every spot where Pebble Beach tries to destroy your scorecard. He's 6 shots back after round 1. In a normal full field event, that's nearly insurmountable. But in an 80-man signature event where everyone plays all 4 rounds, 6 shots is nothing. It's a Friday 65 and a leader regression away from being right back in the mix. And here's the kicker. Rory is one of the best wind players on the planet. Grew up in Northern Ireland hitting shots in gales. If the weekend weather gets nasty and regional forecasts suggest it will, that's an edge for him, not a problem. Pre-tournament, Rory was plus 1400. That's 6.7% implied win equity. But post-round 1, he's actually in a better position than that number suggested because the leaders went nuclear and he's still within striking distance. The market should be pricing him at 10 to 12% win equity right now, which means odds around plus 900 to plus 1100. If his live price is longer than that, you're getting free money.
Oh, hey friend, do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
What needs to happen? Rory shoots 66 or 67 on Friday, completely achievable given his talent and course history. Leaders regress slightly, shoot 69 or 70 instead of another 63. By Saturday morning, Rory's within 2 or 3 shots of the lead, and suddenly his odds collapse to plus 400 or shorter. You've captured massive value by betting him now, while everyone's hypnotized by Thursday's leaderboard. The weather's the wild card that makes this whole thing delicious. Stronger winds and storms are forecast for Northern California this week. Wind at Pebble Beach doesn't just create difficulty, it creates chaos. The coastal holes, especially 8 through 10, and the famous finishing stretch at 17 and 18, get absolutely brutalized when the wind picks up. In those conditions, avoiding bogeys matters more than hunting birdies. That locks in the leaderboard structure and rewards players who can manage their game, not just bomb it. Rory thrives in chaos. Hisatsune has never experienced it at this level. That's not speculation, that's predictive. Here's the contrarian angle nobody's talking about. First-round leaders at Pebble Beach historically struggle to sustain. The course rotation between Pebble and Spyglass Hill in rounds 1 and 2 creates hidden variance. If Hisatsune played the easier setup Thursday and faces the tougher one Friday, that 10-shot lead starts evaporating fast. Meanwhile, Rory knows exactly what's coming. He's seen this movie before. He starred in it. The emotional hook here isn't complicated. This is about what happens when dominance meets adversity. Scheffler was supposed to own this week. Instead, he's fighting for survival, while a defending champion who already proved he can conquer this venue sits perfectly positioned to do it again. The market's pricing. Scheffler's desperation at 3 cents and Rory's redemption arc somewhere around 10 to 1. One of those numbers is very, very wrong. So can a defending champion erase 6 shots in 3 days while the world's best player fades at 3 cents? Absolutely. Because Rory McIlroy isn't chasing a miracle. He's executing a plan he's already proven works. Scheffler needs lightning to strike. Rory just needs to be Rory. And at Pebble Beach, where he's already king, that's the safest bet on the board. Thanks for listening to Parlay News. You can support our podcast by following the show, rating it 5 stars, and telling your friends. Remember, the content on this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only, and do not constitute financial advice. Prediction markets are extremely risky, and you should never play with more money than you are willing to lose. Always do your own research. Catch you on the flip.
Grep News. Tamez.